So I've tried to make this video a few times today, and every time I've scrapped it and gone back to the start. And that's kind of how I wish I could deal with the whole of 2020. For those of you who don't know me, hello, I am Ellen. I make videos on YouTube for a living, and I am immunocompromised. My immunocompromisation, if that's the word, is that my white blood cell count goes up and down. I've got this weird genetic thing that causes it. It just means that sometimes my white blood cell count is lower than average, which means that I'm more susceptible to becoming ill if I catch something rather than just fighting it off and it leaving me alone. So when the coronavirus turned up, I was one of the lucky people who has had to shield themselves this entire year. It was originally supposed to be 12 weeks. It really sucked getting that initial text saying 12 weeks. And here I am in December, having hardly been outside the house. I can technically leave the house for exercise, like for walks. At the very beginning of my lockdown, I wasn't even allowed to leave the house. If I wanted fresh air, I had to open a window, which during a beautiful spring was really, it just sucked. It just said that I couldn't go outside. So because of being locked away, I have had to rely on other people for a lot of things. And this is not something that I worry about too much usually. I am not afraid to ask for help. I'm very lucky that I've got good friends who will look out for me and care about me. And, you know, I think there are enough good people in the world that even though the world seems like a trash fire, things will change. It just sometimes takes a lot of work, and we all have to work together on it. And to deal with this virus, everyone needs to be on the same page and work together. And when you're stuck inside and you're relying on other people to be working together and to be on the same page and they're not, it's kind of frustrating. Even like during the first lockdown, seeing people like not caring and still going out and doing things and having barbecues with their family round, thinking that, oh, I'm fine, they'll be fine. When this virus is something that, hey, you could have and not know, and then you pass it on, and that's the danger, is spreading it to other people and eventually it hitting someone who isn't going to be fine. Speaking as one of those people who might not be fine, like, I need everyone to stop and think about other people, and not everyone has done that this year, and it sucks. I was chatting with my mum, who I am fortunate to live with right now, because otherwise I would probably be on my own in a flat and I would be going even more crazy. Like, shout out to the people who are having to live on their own. I live with family, and I was chatting with my mum about 2020 vision, because everyone was making jokes about 2020 vision before this year. But for me, 2020 vision is how this year has really shown people for who they really are. Some people that you didn't expect it are really like being like, no, I'm going to do this for everyone and, you know, pull my socks up and do the same as everyone else because we all need to get through this together. And other people that you wouldn't expect it are like, no, I want to carry on with my life. I'm not going to stop just for some people who might get ill and die. Some people who honestly don't care because, hey, people have said it to me, people have tweeted it at me, and I've overheard people saying it in real life, which is fun. Like, initial estimates of, like, if we didn't have the lockdown, maybe 400,000 people would die. And I overheard someone being like, 400,000 people, like, there's still going to be just as many millions of us left at the end of it, although they said billions because they said it wrong. Not caring that 400,000 people would die, and not thinking that, hey, maybe someone who can hear them is one of the people that could be that number, because they're immunocompromised and I'm more at risk at ending up on a ventilator than most people. It's been kind of sucky. It's been really sad to see people moaning about how uncomfortable a mask is to wear when they just need to go to the shop for 20 minutes. When I was sitting at home, not even being able to go outside, having my entire life on hold. I'm really fortunate in that I can carry on doing my work from home because my work involves computers and I have the computers that I need to do the stuff. But it sucks, like, there were so many things that I wanted to do this year, so many changes I wanted to make, and so many things that I was doing. Like, I was regularly going to the gym, I was going to build up my strength, because last year I was ill in hospital with pneumonia and also had to have a cyst removed from my ovary, which was fortunately not cancerous, but, you know, you never know, you gotta be careful with this stuff. I'd spent 2019 with, like, pockets of amazingness. I went to Disneyland and Disneyland Paris. That's amazing. I'm an extremely fortunate person to be able to do that. But I also had these weird pockets of watching the world just get on with stuff while I was stuck ill. And that's what a lot of people have to live with. And the fact that some people can't put stuff on hold for a little bit, and that has meant that things have just dragged on for this whole time because some people haven't thought and are refusing to wear masks and like, oh, but it's my right, and blah, 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 like, just be a little bit more considerate. I think empathy is a highly underrated thing. Empathy and kindness are the two of the most important things to me in a person. And yeah, this year just showed me that some people don't have enough of it and can be quite selfish, and that's a shame. But there were some other things that were fine. There were other things that were good. I had amazing people supporting charity streams that I did this year. Thank you to those people. I managed to have some really wonderful memories with my work colleagues, even though I've not seen them all year since March, and I miss them, and all I want to do is give them big hugs because they are my friends and I miss them. Like, there's been amazing things like the delivery drivers, posties, and people doing amazing things and raising money to help people, like, and the work of Marcus Rashford. What a good lad he is. Making sure that people are being looked after, and I just want to thank all those people who are making the effort. And it's just a shame that not everyone is on the same page. And this isn't just random people not doing their bit. This is also aimed at governments who have not pulled their finger out, who have just dithered and tried to put things off and have made this so much worse for everyone, in my personal opinion. And in the opinion of scientists, I would imagine. And if you just look at countries who have dealt with it differently and see how life is way more back to normal than it is here, and how some of the worst affected countries, people high in government, have got the virus at points. I don't know, it's just extremely frustrating as someone who is stuck at home and has to rely on other people to be watching all this going down and thinking, wow, not everyone is on the same page, and we all need to be on the same page, not just be looking out for ourselves. And also, while the numbers I think are so important to keep an eye on, and data is so important with stuff like this, I've seen some people try and just reduce it all down to numbers to be it's not that bad. All these people with underlying conditions are the only people that are dying, so we should all get on with our lives. And it's just okay, before all this went down, I was getting on with life, being perfectly healthy, going to the gym. I am, in medical terms, a healthy human being. I just have this thing where if I am exposed to a bad virus, bacteria, whatever, I could get very ill. It's not my body that is making me ill, it's the virus, and it's just that my body is trying its best and can't fight it off. So many people like me with pre-existing conditions are not locking ourselves away at home on our deathbeds and hoping that COVID doesn't just push us over the edge. We're normal, everyday people who just have a thing that we go to the doctor about every once in a while because modern medicine is fantastic. If we get that virus, we might be more sick. So many people trying to be well, it's not the virus that kills them, it's the thing that they already have. No, the virus kills them. Anyway, I don't want to go into all that. It's been a really tough year for a lot of people, and I just want 2021 to be better. The way that we do that is by being careful and considerate. All the scientists are not only saying this stuff so that people don't die, they're also doing it so that we can get back to normal faster. We can't keep stopping and starting on fighting this thing. We need to make a concerted and group effort against this thing. This year has been so pants, and we're so close to being out of the woods, but we're not out of the woods just yet. We still have to make sure people get the vaccinations and get them safely, and to do that we need to make sure that case numbers aren't through the roof so that it's unsafe for people to go out and get their vaccinations. Wash your hands, wear your masks, keep away from people. I've not hugged my dad since March, and there's so many friends and family. All I want to do is wrap my arms around them and just be oh my God, I've missed you so much. I am gonna be ugly crying when I finally see people. Please don't make it one rule for you and another for everyone else. Don't try and bend the rules. Be careful and think, because I'm sick of hearing about people being sick. It's not fair. I'm sitting here as a shielding person trying their best to be as safe as possible, and there are people out there who are also trying to be as safe as they can, but they're still getting sick because it just takes one person not caring, because of that's how, you know, quickly, if you've seen the diagrams about it, and it spreads. I'm not going to sit here and explain the science. I'm just going to sit here and go, hey, I've been stuck in this room since March and I'm going a little bit crazy. And I know a lot of other people are in the same situation that I am. And from us to all the people who are just like, I'll be fine, and are just like bending the rules a little bit, trying to be as close to as normal as possible. We all want to be as close to normal as possible, but please be safe, please be careful, because I don't want 2021 to be just as bad as this year. Sorry, that was a bit like, but it's been a really terrible year. I'm drained. I'm so drained. I'm sick of people just not caring and coming up with conspiracy theories that will justify them just getting on with their lives because, God forbid, they do something that adversely affects them in a minor way to try and prevent people dying. That's just where I am right now. I'm sick of it. I want my life back, but I know that if I just go out there and act like nothing is happening, I might not have a life for very long. I'm just done.